Are you afraid?
I used to love camping trips, especially solo ones. There's something about being completely alone in nature that always reset me. No phones, no deadlines, just a rustle of leaves and the gentle lapping of water against the shore. This time, I'd picked Lake Hemlock, a spot known for its quiet, secluded coves. I set up camp, got a small fire going, and cooked a simple meal. The air was cool and still, carrying the scent of pine and damp earth. As darkness fully settled, a brilliant canopy of stars spread above me, reflecting in the glassy surface of the lake. It was exactly what I'd needed. After dinner, I packed away my gear. The moon was almost full, bathing the lake in a pale, ethereal glow. I thought about taking the boat out, just for a short row, to fully experience the quiet of the night out on the open water. A quick trip? Nothing too ambitious? It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I untied the small aluminum fishing boat, pushed off, and began to row gently away from the shore. The oars dipped silently into the water, creating barely a ripple. The faint light of my campfire shrank behind me, a tiny ember in the vast darkness. I stopped rowing when I was a good distance from my campsite, maybe a quarter-mile out. The silence was absolute, broken only by the occasional distant hoot of an owl. I lay back, looking up at the countless stars, feeling completely at peace, adrift in the vastness. It was then that I noticed it. A tiny disturbance on the water, far off to my right, near the opposite shore. It wasn't a ripple from a fish jumping or a branch falling. It was too regular, too slow, like something was moving steadily through the water. I sat up, squinting into the gloom. The moon was bright enough to illuminate the V-shape, which was growing gradually larger. Whatever it was moving with a deliberate, unhurried pace, and it was heading straight for me. My first thought was a late-night fisherman, maybe a trolling motor. But there was no sound, not even the faint hum of an electric engine. Just the widening V, pushing silently through the water. It was unsettling. I gripped the oars, my heart starting to pound. It was definitely not a boat. The wake was too low, too small. It looked like something was submerged, barely breaking the surface, propelling itself forward. I couldn't make out any clear form, just a dark, indistinct shape. Then, it broke the surface. Directly in front of my boat, no more than 20 feet away. My breath caught in my throat. It was humanoid, built like an animal made to stand upright, emerging from the dark water without a sound. Its face was symmetrical to an impossible degree, an unsettling perfection that looked less like a human and more like a doll carved from some pale, unyielding material. Water dripped from its features, but its eyes didn't blink. Its skin seemed to ripple faintly, as though something moved just beneath the surface. I scrambled for the oars, fumbling them in my shaking hands. It didn't react. It just kept moving, slowly, directly towards my boat. Its body was streamlined, not like a swimmer, but like something perfectly adapted to push through the water. The ripples beneath its skin were more distinct now, like countless tiny insects shifting. I started rowing hard. Panic seized me. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I didn't want it close to me. It seemed to pick up pace, too, maintaining its straight-line approach, always a fixed distance to my stern. It wasn't chasing me, not exactly. It was simply accompanying me. I rowed until my arms burned, until my breath hitched in my chest. The shore looked impossibly far away. Every time I glanced back, it was there, a dark, upright shape. Its perfectly symmetrical face pointed towards me, its skin subtly rippling. It never swerved, never deviated. My muscles screamed in protest. I was going to collapse. It was moving too smoothly, too easily. I was making a wide, arcing turn towards the shore, trying to lose it, but it just adjusted its straight line of approach, always closing the gap. It was almost directly behind me now, just inches from the transom. I could feel its presence, a cold, unnatural stillness emanating from it. I could practically hear the faint, continuous shifting beneath its skin, like 1,000 tiny things moving in unison. A hand, pale and strangely smooth, reached over the stern and gripped the edge of my boat. There was no splash, no sound. The fingers were long, unnaturally uniform. I froze, my heart trying to beat its way out of my ribs. I slowly turned my head. Its symmetrical face was right there, inches from mine. Its eyes, perfectly spaced, perfectly still, reflected the moonlight like polished obsidian. The skin on its face rippled, a constant, unsettling undulation just beneath the surface. It leaned in, slowly, inexorably. Then, the water around my boat began to churn violently. Not from the oars, but from something else, something far larger, deep beneath the surface. The boat rocked, throwing me off balance. The grip on my boat didn't loosen. Instead, I felt a powerful, irresistible pull downwards. The boat began to sink, dragged by unseen forces. The creature's head, its perfectly symmetrical face, utterly devoid of emotion, was the last thing I saw as the cold, black water closed over me.